Hey guys, what's up? Dillerbocker here with the Hot Boobs, going over the upcoming scenario for Tears of the Sun. It's going on at Splatter Ranch on March 23rd, 2014. So I just want to go over the scenario. I think, in order for a scenario to go well, really, people got to know what's going on, and it's hard to deliver a complex scenario to people the day of the event. I think, the idea here is that you guys can watch this and get a pretty good idea of what to expect, and then you can do more strategizing and kind of helping out some of the walk-ons and rentals that are just coming on the field that day and helping them know what's going on. So let's go right into it. So Tears of the Sun, hopefully you guys got a chance to watch the movie. This scenario is really designed to go just like the movie goes, so that can really help you to remember your missions and kind of what's expected. So a little background: there's basically a civil war that's raging in Nigeria. A Navy SEAL team led by Lieutenant Waters has been dispatched to rescue critical personas. The team must navigate its way through the Nigerian rebel army to find and bring to safety these critical personas. So there's some pretty unique rules. I mean, really, we go by all the field rules, which are normal. You get hit anywhere, you're out, that kind of stuff. But some unique scenario rules will be: there's going to be helicopter drops or helo drops for the SEALs. The SEALs are always going to be outnumbered in every single mission in this game. And on select missions, they're going to have helo drops every 5 minutes. The helo drops are really only for dead SEALs, and they can revive once they're dead through these helo drops. The refugees cannot. There's going to be different missions in the game where the SEALs are going to be escorting refugees, and the refugees die, they're just dead. SEALs get a chance to come back through these helo drops. The way that we do helo drops, the coordinates are basically radioed to a helo operator that's at dispatch. So that's basically going to be wherever they spawn from, the SEALs. And once the helo pilot's dispatched to a grid location, that flight path can't be altered. They have to go drop off the SEALs at that location. The way that's done is like this. The SEAL commander is going to have one of these grid maps, and so is the helo pilot. So basically, the SEAL commander can call in coordinates. So here it would be G9. So give me a helo drop at G9. Once that's radio, let's say they start here. Once that's radio, it has to be executed. This could become hot ground by the time the helo actually gets there. It's still got to drop off its payload there. And we'll go over helo rules day of the event. But they're pretty basic. I mean, you got to give, when they drop people off, you got to give them a full 3 seconds to kind of deploy and take cover. So basically, only SEALs can be revived in that way. Lieutenant Waters and the helo pilot, like I said, they both have a grid map of the field. Lieutenant Waters isn't the only one. Other SEAL members can also radio coordinates to the pilot to deploy SEALs. There may be a situation where Lieutenant Waters is dead, for example, and somebody else can take over to radio. The SEAL team will have radio communication. There's also going to be airstrikes in the game. There's only one mission actually where there's airstrikes, and you'll see that when it comes up. An airstrike is handled in a similar way to the helo pilot, getting the coordinates. But what happens with an airstrike is the airstrike coordinates are given to the helo pilot. The helo pilot starts his timer from that point. He actually waits 3 full minutes, and then he goes to the grid location, whatever that might be. So I need an airstrike on G9. The ref will wait a full 3 minutes, then go to that location and clear out any players at all. So they could be friendly or enemy. Friendly fire could happen in one of these. You'll see the mission as it comes up, but that's how an airstrike goes. Airstrikes take precedence over helo drops. So if the pilot is active with an airstrike during the time when a helo drop would be happening, then the helo drop is forfeited. You'll see you get 2 airstrikes basically, and you could actually execute those at the same time. So you could tell your helo pilot, I want to airstrike here and here, give him the grid locations for him. He could go execute them simultaneously, or, well, not really simultaneously, one after the other, since it's only one guy, but he'd go here, call everybody out, and then go over here, or wherever your airstrikes were. Another kind of unique scenario rule: commanders as high value targets. So each squad is going to have a leader. For the SEALs, you have Lieutenant Waters, and then there's also going to be a Nigerian rebel commander. He's going to be clearly marked, and he's going to be giving orders to his team. But if he gets killed at any time during any of these missions, the SEAL team gets 3,000 points. If Lieutenant Waters, he's also a high value target, but he'll probably get killed a lot more since the SEALs are going to be getting overwhelmed a lot. He's worth points, but it's only worth 1,000 points. He could also respawn coming back into the game. Each time Lieutenant Waters is killed, 1,000 points for the Nigerian rebels. So high value targets are going on throughout each of these missions. There's other high value targets you'll see as we go. The Doctor, some other things too. Rebel respawn. So the Nigerian rebels generally, they don't get any respawns or anything, but there is one mission in particular where they do get respawn. The Nigerian rebel strength is really in their numbers, and only on mission 3, on the Make a Stand mission, the rebels get to respawn one time at the 10-minute mark, and you'll see kind of how that works. So let's go over the first mission. So mission 1, find the Doctor. So the SEAL team has been selected to locate Dr. Kendricks, and as a secondary objective, locate a priest and 2 nuns that are at St. Michael's mission. So your primary objective is going to be worth 7,000 points, and that's find Dr. Kendricks, who will be located in location A. You know, I don't know exactly where location A is going to be yet, to be honest with you. It'll probably be one of these houses right by where you start, you know, where you enter the field. The SEAL team is going to start down here, we know that. Probably find that the dock is going to be the furthest away here. And we'll probably have, there's 2 houses down here in this area, down by the wash. Probably one of those houses will be where you could get the priest and the 2 nuns. So the priest and the 2 nuns are worth 3,000. The dock would be worth 7,000. We might change that up, but we'll let you know game day. I mean, as long as you kind of know how the operation is working. The SEALs will begin at the west flag. You can see I got a little compass, so SEALs are going to begin down here at this flag. And then remember, they're going to have helo drops. So at the 5-minute, 10-minute, there's going to be a 20-minute game. Sorry. So the SEALs will have helo drops at 5, 10, and 15-minute mark. So if they start here and move up at the 5-minute mark, whoever's dead could get helo dropped back in. So they get helo dropped anywhere over here. Obviously, the further away it's going to be, the longer it's going to take to kind of get back. So they got helo drops. The Nigerian rebels begin at the north, east, south flags in somewhat equal distribution. So what that means is you got your east flag here they can start at, and then you got your north and south flags up here. Okay, so you're going to split up their team somewhat equally over here. The horn sounds and it's game on. Okay, that's mission 1. So, you know, if the SEAL team gets the dock, they get 7,000. If they don't get the dock, then the rebels get 7,000. And same with the secondary objective too. The rebels get the points if the SEAL team doesn't get them themselves. Mission 2. Escort the refugees. So what's going to happen is you're going to go get the dock, you're not going to get the dock, or you're going to get the priest or not. But what happens next is you end up taking on a bunch of refugees, because what happens in the movie is the doc doesn't want to go with you unless you take all these sick people. And you know, Bruce Willis is like, yeah, sure, Doc, go ahead, let's bring him, let's get out of here. Although, you know, the doc is really the true mission. So escort the refugees. The team and the refugees are being chased by the Nigerian rebel army. So the primary objective here in this mission really is to escort the refugees to a safe zone. And so what is that? Well, the SEALs begin at the west end of the field with 10 players. The west end of the field is going to be down here again. They're going to get 10 rental guns. Now, they can be walk-ons, they can be whatever, but no custom guns. It's got to be 10 rental guns. And the SEAL team. Who's the SEAL team? I didn't tell you. So it's going to be the Haboob's paintball team. Yay! So I don't know. I'd probably be 7-man team. We'll see. We'll see who can make it, who can show, and who's down to do this thing. Probably not too many though. I'm thinking 7's probably a good number. Anyways, the SEALs will start at the west end with their 10 players, and they got to escort the refugees all the way to a safe zone at location A. So it's probably going to be somewhere over here on the whole other end of the field. And we'll probably make it an area that they can go to, not necessarily a house, but an area that they have to get to. We may rope it off or something, but expect it to be going from here all the way over here. So the SEALs, you know, they're going to start down here with their with their guys. The Nigerian rebel army begins at the east side of the field. So pretty simple. Both teams start here and here. The goal is for the SEAL team to get all the way in here. Now the SEAL team, again, they have their helo drop. So if the refugees die, well, they can't respawn, but the SEALs can respawn. How do you score points in this one? I'm glad you asked. The SEALs get 1,000 points for every refugee that makes it to the safe zone. And, you know, even if they don't make it to the safe zone, they get 500 points for every refugee that's alive. So the scoring works in the same way. For every refugee that is killed, the Nigerian army gets 1,000 points. For every refugee that's still alive but doesn't get killed or makes it to the safe zone, each team basically gets 500 points for that player. So that's how it works. The points are all scored based on those refugees in this mission too. Okay. Now we got mission 3. So if your SEAL team, you got your refugees, you've gotten them to the safe zone, or they've all died. But for the sake of having another mission, let's say that they made it. So you made it to mission 3. Now it's time to make a stand. Your refugees are tired. If you saw the movie, they're bringing like kids and stuff with them. You know, it's like, oh, anyway. I don't know whether so they got kids and so they're tired and so they got to take a break, right? So the refugees got to rest and the SEALs now they got to make a stand. So the rebels also appear to be tracking the SEALs. If you watch the movie, is there a spy among the refugees? I don't know. The primary objective in this one is really what's going to happen is the SEALs can begin anywhere on the field with their 10 players that are the rental guns. Okay. What's going to happen is one of those players is going to be clearly identified as Dr. Kendrick, so one of those rental guns. And you got to protect Dr. Kendrick. So if Dr. Kendrick survives, you get 5,000 points. If Dr. Kendrick is killed, you lose that 5,000 points. I'm talking as though I'm a SEAL, of course. For the secondary objective, well, it's a FRAGO, which is, my military buddies tell me it's a fragmentary order, and it's going to be announced in game. I guess I could tell you now. Maybe if you can read this, you can see it, but I'm going to hide it for now and tell you later. So we'll tell you kind of in game what your secondary objective is. But the way the mission 3 is going to set up is the SEALs are going to set up anywhere defensively, and then the Nigerian rebel army begins at the west end of the field. So in this one, SEALs can go anywhere they want, but they're going to set up in kind of a defensive area. All the Nigerian rebel army can attack. They all start here, and they can attack. What's cool about this one is all the SEALs get a grenade in this one. There's a scene in the movie when they're just hucking grenades because they're getting overwhelmed, and that's kind of what's going on here. So SEALs set up defensively. Nigerian army can attack. And in this one, there's no helo drops for the SEALs. This is the last stand. They don't have any support. They got to try and survive this onslaught. And the Nigerian army, at 10-minute mark, they can respawn. So everybody that dies comes back here and waits for their respawn so they can attack again. So it should be mad chaos. And remember, every member of the SEAL team has a grenade. So hopefully we get some good grenade chaos going on too. So that's mission 3. 5,000 points for the FRAGO, 5,000 points for your primary objective, just keeping the doctor alive. Okay. Okay, mission 4. Run for Cameroon. So in the movie, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get all these refugees over the Cameroon border so that they don't get murdered, basically. And you know, that movie had some mad like torture stuff in it. I don't think it was good to recommend that to all the kids, but short of that, I guess it was kind of cool, sort of. Mission 4. This is going to be badass. Our scenario is going to be badass, better than the movie. So, mission 4, run for Cameroon. The rest of the SEALs and surviving refugees must make a run for the border. Now, this is going to be sweet. Check this out. The Navy SEALs have 2 F-18s on standby to provide an airstrike on the rebel army. And so that happened in the movie, too. And I explained how the airstrikes work. So they're going to be kind of tough to execute. I mean, a 3-minute delay and then then the pilot goes out to do it. It's going to be kind of tricky, but it should be fun. We'll see. The primary objective on this one really is to escort the refugees to the Cameroon border at location B is what I put on here. But what that means is the SEALs are going to begin this time at the east end of the field. And the now this is interesting, half of the Nigerian army is going to start at this flag at this end of the field. Now what's going to happen is the other half of the Nigerian army is going to be hanging out over here, and they're going to start, I think it's 7 minutes into the game. Yeah, so it's going to, the teams are going to go out, and then 7 minutes into the game, the other half of the Nigerian army is going to get deployed. So then basically, it's going to be a run for Cameroon, which Cameroon's going to be over here, by the way. That's the safe zone. So the SEAL team and the 10 guys are going to haul it. So that's going to be a cool setup. And you got your airstrikes too, the SEAL team. And we have helo drops in this one. I think the SEAL team has helo drop in so far all the missions that we've talked about, other than the Last Stand, because the idea is they just, they don't get any reinforcements on that one. And it'll be cool if they get overwhelmed, dude. They'll be hucking their grenades, and it should be sweet. So that's the run for Cameroon. How are they going to score points? Well, for every refugee that you get to the safe zone, you get 1,000 points. Same thing for every refugee that survives and isn't killed, you get 500 points, which would mean the rebels also get 500 points, since you didn't actually save them, but they survived. Maybe they die of hunger or something instead. So that's that mission. Mission 5. So this will be the last mission, and I just kind of added this one because some of the SEALs died, and they just bailed on them and totally left them behind. And I think in the movie they addressed that, and the Marines were kind of getting geared up. They were going to go out. The Marines were going to go out there and get all the dead, I think. And so here we'll mimic what would happen if they had to go back for the dead. And really for this one, we're just going to do an all-out, split the teams in half battle. So whoever wanted to play with the Haboobs or the SEAL team or whatever can now do it, and we'll split the teams up half and half. And what we're going to do is it's a battle to reclaim the SEAL bodies. The Marines are here to help, and it's going to be an all-out battle. So primary objective, pull the north and south flags for 5,000 points apiece. So we'll try and start the teams at an equal distance, whatever that's going to look like. And then we'll use these 2 flags here. And basically at the end of the game, whichever, I would imagine SEALs will be blue, or we're going to have the SEALs start from down here, I think. So SEALs will be blue, the rebels will be red down here, SEALs will be blue, and whichever flag at the end is up is 5,000 points per flag. So 2 blues would be 10,000 for the SEALs, etc. So pretty basic capture the flag game. There are no helo drops for this. It's just a straight up flag battle. Both teams can respawn at the 10-minute mark, so we'll keep a lot of action going on. If you're dead, you go back to your respawns, wait for the 10-minute mark, and then you can go at it again. So it'll be mad battle, a lot of action, bring a ton of ammo for mission 5. Okay. And that's about it, dude. So hopefully you guys like the setup. I think we'll be able to execute it, because you guys will know what's going on, those of you that will watch this, and then we'll have some referee meetings. Hopefully some of you are referees that are watching this too, and we can be prepared to execute this and keep everybody informed. A lot of having fun at these things is everybody knowing what's going on. Sometimes they get the walk-ons and stuff, they're like, I don't know what they don't know what is going on. But the more of us that know what's going on, we can explain it to them and kind of keep them abreast of what's going on and make it a lot clearer for them. So I hope this was good. Feel free, I'm going to post this on YouTube, so post questions on there, or hit us up on Haboob's Paintball .webs.com is our website, and then we're on Facebook too. If you just pop in, just Google Haboob's Paintball, you'll see all of our stuff. You can send us questions that way. Our email address too, haboobspaintball@gmail.com. You can send it there. So send us any questions you might have, even suggestions too. Those would be helpful. But thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Late.